Tensions are intensifying after deadly new attacks in Pakistan. Here now to discuss that conflict involving two nuclear-armed nations, India being the other, is our news partner with WTOP, National Security Correspondent JJ Green. Great to see you, JJ.
Hey, Michelle, how are you?
I'm well. So the violence between these two countries is ramping up, both sides accusing each other of drone strikes. Tell us more about how we got to this point.
Well, this is something that's been going on since 1947 almost. These two countries, essentially, there have been numerous disagreements and three wars over the time. Some of us may remember the 2008 Mumbai attack. There was the 2001 Hindu attack in India. And there have been some very, very heated confrontations in between those wars. And all of this has to do with the fact that these two countries simply have some major, major political, cultural, and other kinds of differences that they simply have not been able to overcome. And the thing that really is so difficult about this right now is that they're at it again. Nuclear weapons are on the table. Both of these countries have nuclear weapons. There are concerns about whether or not we'll get to that point where they're, essentially considered or used. But this is something that's been going on almost 80 years now.
Right. So that leads you to wonder, are we on the brink of a broader conflict?
Yeah, we are. And you see this every day, and you've seen this in the last few weeks. So on the 22nd of April, there was an attack in Indian administered Kashmir that killed 26 Hindus. And then India promised retaliation. They said, we'll do it at a time and a place of our choosing. So a few days ago, it came. And it came in Pakistan administered Kashmir, but also inside of Pakistan proper. That was the thing and the problem. India said, no, this is not a situation where we're attacking military targets, we're attacking terrorist targets. What Pakistan did next was they went and attacked India's military. And so far in this week or so of tit-for-tat attacks, more than 50 people have been killed, and it is on the brink of escalating because each day for the last 4 or 5 days, one side or the other has attacked the other.
Yeah, and Pakistan now promising revenge as well. So it continues, as you pointed out. To Ukraine now, I want to pivot here. Putin's 3-day ceasefire is in effect, but Ukraine says Russia is already violating it. So what happens next?
Well, first of all, Michelle, this was never really a ceasefire. And when you talk to Ukrainians, they will tell you this, and most observers will tell you this. This was essentially Vladimir Putin trying to create space for this Victory Day parade. And he didn't want Ukraine to launch attacks on Moscow or to do anything to disrupt this situation because he's got world leaders there and a lot of guests and people there that are part of his party. This is a part of Moscow's coming out party. And so Russia's claiming that Ukraine has violated the ceasefire and, all that. But it never really was a ceasefire because if it was, why 3 days? And then why did we have to wait 10 days for it? And why isn't it longer? Like, say, the U.S. and Ukraine and others have asked 30 days. It's 3 days. It's just for this event, just for this window. And it's not something that people around the world view as a ceasefire. It's something that was a means to an end for Vladimir Putin and for Moscow, and it's something that could very well come back to haunt them later.
And while you were speaking, we showed some images from the parade on Red Square right there in Moscow as you were talking. That leads me to my next question. What's the latest on President Trump's planned parade? We know that is still on the books for next month. Are you getting any new information about how all of that is going to play out?
Well, we know there is going to be a celebration. We know there are going to be thousands of people involved. We know it's going to take place on his birthday and I think Flag Day, same day, I believe. And we know that there are concerns about what this signifies, what it signals, the message that it sends. And there are questions about why. So all of that's going to continue to ruminate, continue to boil, and continue to simmer. But, the details about what they bring into the city is really interesting, and it's something that people have to kind of watch very carefully, because there are really big concerns about how or whether or not the transportation system in the district can handle some of the hardware that some of those that are planning this parade want to bring into the parade, like tanks and armored vehicles and that kind of thing. And then, of course, again, there's this idea about what message this sends, especially considering it's coming on the heels of this military parade we just talked about, the one in Moscow. There are those that have tried to equate Mr. Trump's interest in having a parade with authoritarianism. I don't know that that's the case. What I do know, it's something that he wants to do. Whether or not it's something he will do and how big it will be is something we probably will have to wait and see how it plays out. But it's certainly something that's got a lot of people concerned and stirred up when you look at it.
All right, national security correspondent J.J. Green, thanks for joining me. Have a great weekend.